Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to make another little Neo video. It could equally be the Avata 2 to try and save some of you people some money and perhaps dispel some of the myths. And it's about the controllers. Now, I've flown radio control aircraft for years, probably 20 plus years. I've flown RC jets, turbine jets, ducted fan, propeller models, petrol models, electric models, the old-fashioned glow fuel models, you name it, I've flown it. I was in on the early days of drones and the early days of LiPo batteries. So I've flown a lot of RC planes, from very small to very big. I've had RC boats and all sorts. Now, I started in the hobby when there was no 2.4. It was all FM transmission, and you had problems with glitches and all sorts. And I've seen various controllers come and go. So now I've started FPV, and I've got lots of DJI drones, which are the traditional camera drones, which I fly. But I wanted to have a go at FPV. So I bought the goggles 3 and the Avata Fly More combo. Enjoyed that, but I don't get on with the goggles 3. I then bought the goggles N3 that came out in a Neo Fly More combo, or I think it's called the Motion Fly More combo. Whoops, mind the hedge. And thoroughly enjoyed it, and then started really enjoying it. But when I first bought all of this kit, I thought I would want to fly on sticks, as I've done traditionally for many years. But how you buy these, they tend to come with the Motion Controller, in my case the Motion Controller 3. I was sceptical about it. All I would say, it is the best thing since sliced bread. Now, lots of hardcore FPV enthusiasts, and those are many of them on the DJI forum, will tell you it's not proper FPV, it's not professional FPV, and they'll talk all sorts of nonsense about flying on sticks. They'll talk to you about acro mode, manual mode, and diving, and all these sorts of things. Now, I've tried it. I have got the FPV Controller 3. I spent my money on it. In my view, to some extent, I wasted me money, because the Motion Controller, I think, is the way to go. It's so intuitive. You won't crash or break your drone. Now, this is me flying around my garden. It is a bit windy, and this is the Neo, so flown solely with the Motion Controller in normal mode and or sports mode. You cannot fly the Motion Controller in manual mode, and I don't see why you would want to. I tried manual mode with the FPV Controller 3. I was useless. I crashed the drone in about 2 seconds, tried again, 2 seconds. I didn't spend hours on a simulator, because I didn't want to spend hours on a simulator. If you want to fly manual mode, I suggest you do spend hours on a simulator. But why would you want to, when you can fly a little drone around like this FPV? As I say, I'm using the goggles N3, which are about, I think, £229, or you can get them with the DJI Neo Motion Fly More combo. I think I crashed at that point, so I started again. I hit the side of the swimming pool. But yeah, you can get them for, I think, £439, where you get the Motion Controller 3, the goggles N3, a Neo, 3 batteries, a charger, and so on and so forth. You don't get a case. But anyway, my whole point here is, don't believe that the Motion Controller is not for you. It is, in my view, far better and a great leap forward from flying on sticks. People will talk to you about Radio Master, ELRS, and other what I consider to be nonsense. Drones, DJI 04 drones that cost as much as the Avata. You've got the battery hanging off the bottom, wires hanging out. You can't fly them in any sort of stabilized mode. You can fly them in horizon mode, acro mode, I've forgotten what the other one is called, angle mode, but they're only, you connect them to Betaflight and faff around with settings on a computer which you may or may not understand, and what do you finish up with in the end? A far more expensive drone which you'll probably hit and crash, batteries hanging out, wires hanging out, when you can enjoy the DJI Neo as a very good starter, with all concealed, beautifully set up, stable, with GPS, with return to home, and you can do flights like I'm doing here in my own garden. There's no way I could fly this flight on the sticks. No way that I could fly it like this. Yes, it would be nice if the little Neo and the Avata went a bit faster in sports mode, DJI may release that a little bit. You can go very fast in manual mode, but I can't fly manual mode. I've tried it, and with all that RC experience, I find it very, very difficult. Now, if I want to spend hours on the simulator, I might master it. But why would I want to do that when I can do all of this just with the Motion Controller 3, all ergonomic, all chargers, all connects. You can take it out of your bag in seconds. You can plug a battery in and fly and make little videos like this, all with a DJI Neo, which costs about 150 quid, or the Avata 2, which is about 400 quid with a single battery option, because you'd have the motion controller and you'd have the goggles. So for about 850 quid, you could get set up with an Avata 2, one battery, a DJI Neo Fly More bundle with the Motion Controller 3 and the goggles N3. And I think you've got a lovely, robust, beautiful little FPV setup, where you won't break things and so on. So this morning, it is a bit windy out there, although my garden is sheltered. I had 2 flights, each lasting about 12 minutes. And that's the other thing. With the Neo or the Avata 2, you can easily get flights using a motion control and sports mode in excess of 15 minutes. With any proper FPV outfit, you will be very, very lucky if you get a flight much over 6 or 7 minutes, which is okay, but it's nice to have a bit more time. Anyway, I had 2 flights. I flew this morning for about 20 to 25 minutes. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I crashed once because I was pushing it. There was no damage, and I had to walk out and pick my drone up. If I was flying this in manual mode, if indeed I could fly it in manual mode or acro mode with a non-DJI stabilised drone, I'd have been picking it up and walking around in this mud countless times and probably destroy my drone. So for me, the motion controller and the DJI stuff is the way to go. This clip is just a bit showing you the telemetry, the video from What's the Goggles. I've edited this down just because you don't want to watch it all twice, but it does give you the speeds and the heights and information, battery percentages, the satellites, which you can see on the Neo, do flick in and out quite a bit. All I would say with the Neo, people who have had issues with the Neo, I don't think they've left it long enough to connect and get enough satellites. It seems as though they can ping in and out when you're flying, and it's all good, but I've not had issues with the Neo. All I would say, don't try and fly it in the dark. Indoors is okay if it's light, but it's not as good as the Avata 2, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. A little bit noisy, but it's a noise that I can cope with. So there we are. So you can sit back and watch if you want the rest of the flight, and I would finish by saying, don't waste your money on if you just want to enjoy FPV on all that so-called professional FPV kit. I would say get yourself the DJI Neo Motion Fly More combo, use the Motion Controller 3 and the goggles N3, then perhaps move towards an Avata and enjoy it. Don't get the urge to fly on sticks. People who say, oh, I fly on the sticks, I fly manual mode. To my mind, they're just people who haven't moved on in the hobby of doing it for years, and that's fine if that's what they want to do, but there's no need to poo-poo it when things move forward. So, there we have it. Mind that. See, I saw that in the goggles N3. People say you can't see the sticks in the goggles N3. Well, you certainly can. As I say, I find the goggles N3 better than the goggles 3. So, there we have it. Excellent. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you on another video.